Oh, you just pressed play on This Week with Drunk Astrology. My name is Graham Breitenstein. I'm your astrologer and the creator of Drunk Astrology. If you're looking for someone to make astrology make sense to you and for you, well, my friend, you have come to the right place. Here on this podcast, we discuss the weekly cosmic weather. And when we break it down, we break it down. I believe that astrology can be used as a tool to inform your daily decisions and enhance your day-to-day life. So if you're ready to have a hell of a lot of fun with astrology, make some strategic decisions, and to just keep it real, well, that journey starts right now. Happy Sunday, folks, and happy Aries Full Moon to everyone. I hope that you are feeling illuminated, not eliminated, as full moons can potentially do, because they are very powerful, potent, culminating, expressive, and ball-busting since we're in the sign of Aries. This is your podcast for the week of October 10th through the 16th, 2022, and I am not gonna lie to you, folks. It's busy up here in the skies. It's busy down here in the streets, and we are gonna be bumping, rolling, steaming, scheming, and doing all the things because this full moon did what? She did who? She did how? She brought on the eclipses, baby. So by the time this podcast is hitting your earwaves, we are officially in eclipse season. And I have been priming you and working you up until this point, because now you got to let go and let God. That's the best part. That's the best cosmic advice I can pass on to you now for this potent season that we are in, called eclipses. You gotta let go and let God, and just say, you know what, source, divine, God, Buddha, Allah, whatever name you want to call it, she, him, fill in the blank, baby, you gotta give it up to them. And this is a powerful time. It's a potent time. It is a turbulent time. Now, I will reiterate. I said this at the end of the podcast last week, but I'm going to bring it to the top of this week's podcast. This does not mean that every single day of your life is like crazy roller coaster, chaos, conflict, and what. That's not what it is. But what it can do is, at the drop of a dime, at the drop of a hat, things can just go whoop, major turning point. Now, just keep in mind, full moons are turning points in themselves. So we are blasting forward with an Aries full moon, which is Mars warlike energy. So if you've been, or people around you have been, real hot-headed and real temperamental and real like, I'm gonna burn this house down, it's full moon and Aries energy, plus there's all this conversation with Chiron happening on Friday last week, the 7th. Was that the 7th? I wrote it down. Yes. Friday the 7th, the sun had an opposition to Chiron. So, you know, even people in my life woke up with messages on their phone that sent them through the roof. And that's Chiron energy. You know, there's a trigger. There's a wounding. Someone said something that sent me off the Richter scale, or I noticed something that I cannot believe. Then Aries full moon hits and culminates and illuminates even further. And then on Monday, Venus is going to have her opposition to Chiron. So then the feminine has something to say. Okay, so there is so much just within a 4-day time span, Friday the 7th through this week, Monday the 10th, so much energy that is temperamental, hot-headed, ready to fight. You know, I don't care about your feelings. I am going to slam dunk that ass, okay? But I'm hoping that if you're listening to this podcast, you are going to take a step back. Remember, fire energy does need something to let off. You know, there's that phrase, let off some steam. That is when you're hot, when you're hot. Cosmically speaking, that's just fire that needs to be put somewhere else. So you need to get your heart pumping, right? You need to take like a boxing class. You need to go for a run and get your heart pumping. You need to ride a roller coaster, get the adrenaline going. You need to do something that will get that energy off of you. Now, those of you that are already on the Cosmic News Train, the Drunk Astrology newsletter, you have that Aries Full Moon report, which is a sign-by-sign horoscope for what this full moon is culminating. You have that in your inbox already. If you are listening and you're still not on the Cosmic News Train, baby, get in those show notes or the description if you're on, what's it called? YouTube, and get on it. All it is a link. You put your email in, and you're going to get free readings, free horoscopes. You're going to get all kinds of free by signing up to that newsletter. So if you're not on it already and you sign up, the full moon report won't be, you won't have access to that yet. But the next one, when I do my monthly horoscopes, when I do new moon reports, and I'm likely going to be sending you guys a little breakdown about these eclipses, just so you have more you just have more to reference in terms of, events, conversations, aha moments, awakenings. I don't want you to discount that eclipses can be epiphanies or wake-up calls, something that it gets you closer to being on track again. That's really what eclipses are designed to do. If you're off track, wake-up call, baby, and it can be a slam dunk. It can be something unexpected. It can be an event, but there's also this mental awakening that can take place on eclipses or you have a conversation that blows your mind and you're going, oh my God, everything you just said to me just made things make sense. I had a conversation with a friend of mine last week. Yes, eclipses can be felt early too, and they can be felt later. Don't want you to think that, once the season's over, things can't still take place. Other planets come along. Sometimes it's before eclipses even take place. Sometimes it's after they take place. Other planets come and stimulate the same degrees of the eclipses, and they give you that message. They send that slam dunk. They send that aha moment, that wake up call. And last week I actually had a couple conversations with some friends that by the time we were like really in a groove, and my friends and I, we go deep, and we're both sitting there and on both separate occasions, it's different people, different conversations, going, oh my God, wow, I kind of don't know what to say. I'm a little gobsmacked. I'm a little like, okay, wow, that's what I need to be doing. Or that's the dialogue. Those are the words I didn't have in my mind to make it make sense, and now I do. So don't underestimate those types of moments being your eclipse story. And if that is the case, you just might notice that the people around you, family, friends, lovers, workers, colleagues, that they're the ones that come to you and go, oh my God, you are not going to believe what just happened, or what I'm telling you, you're going to see it in the headlines and whatever news things you follow, you're going to see it there. You're going to hear it around you, and you yourself might end up having your own version of that. And I want you to take that in. And this is a season of doing less to receive more. So let me tell you what I mean by that. With eclipses, because they are so volatile, because they are so unpredictable, the nature, that's their very nature. And keep in mind that the nodes are with Uranus, which is extra unpredictable. There's a little stroke of genius involved in that too, because Uranus is, a rebel in his own right. But when it comes to perspective, when it comes to marching to the beat of its own drum, that's the idea. So Uranus and the nodes right now are like, hey, I'm going to shake this up for you because your perspective is what we need. Your sense of style, your take on whatever subject or relationship or situation. We need you. We need you to show up fully as you and nothing else. But their very nature is to shake it up. So you don't want to manifest. You want to take a spiritual sabbatical, as I have been saying, because you've been busy since last eclipses. 6 months ago, April, May, you have been busy since then. You have been doing a lot. You've been manifesting, whether intentionally or not. And now this is a period from October 9th through November 23rd that this astrologer is going to highly encourage you to take a step back and to say, and this is the subconscious message, but I would love for you to make this your conscious message, is that I trust that all the work that I have put in this far is now working for me, not against me. And because I know it's working for me, I am going to step back and allow. I am not going to force. I am not going to influence. I am just going to take a step back. I'm going to stay consistent and do the work that I'm always doing on a day-to-day basis. I'm just going to keep pushing forward. But I know that on my bigger overarching things, I am taking a step back and I'm going to receive. I'm going to accept. And I'm going to create time, space, and energy for the things that come up and demand my attention ASAP. That's the eclipse energy right there. Something that comes up out of the blue, demands your attention, and it can even be this false sense of urgency. So anything that comes up, unless it's so like obviously a slam dunk, 100% like, this is an opportunity, I'm taking it. You go with that. But if it's something that's like, I think there's a little bit more. I don't know that I should act on this just yet because I don't have all the information I need, but it can feel like, oh my God, I know I don't know all the information, but I just need to press go. I will encourage you to ask for more time, give yourself more time. Okay? Now, I'm going to leave the eclipse energy there. It's in your full moon horoscope. I have a VIP final message at the end of that full moon horoscope report. So I want you to just take that and listen to that and find that. Everything is time-stamped, so you're Gucci there. A couple little notes before we get into the rest of this week. The podcast interview that I did with the Feng Shui practitioner expert, or Feng Shui queen like I call her, Kristina Hollinger, it is now out on her podcast. So I have included the link to that interview. We talk about the significance of the Saturn return and your nodal return. Because the nodes, there's cycles there with Saturn and with the nodes. And when they return to the same signs they were in when you were born, there are key significances there that you're going to want to know. And I give you the age ranges when you can expect that energy to come up and pop. And it was overall, so much insight, so much that just came up in natural flow of conversation. You're going to take a lot away from that interview. And she also gives 15 minutes of feng shui at the beginning of all her episodes. So and you all know how much I love me some feng shui and how much I say, like, start with your surroundings. Clean up your home space and watch the energy around you change. Well, she's going to give you like even more guided insight. It was just great. And Kristina's great. She just had her birthday. She's a full moon baby. Her birthday fell on the full moon. It's a chef's kiss energy. Okay. Oh, yes. This is something that this is just so Mercury retro shade. Because remember, Mercury is in his retrograde shadow until next week. On the 17th, he finally clears his retrograde shadow, which is part of the energy this week because he's going to have his third and final aspect that really blanketed his retrograde story. But we surpassed 100 subscribers on YouTube. We got to 116, and I just want to thank everybody who heard my desperate plea and went and subscribed. I really appreciate it, but in all Mercury Retro Shades glory, I can't customize my URL. Since it was like right at the top of Mercury retrograde, so I'm really hoping that it clears up next week. But I went to customize the URL so that it could just be youtube.com/drunkastrology. And there is a disclaimer there that since the top of September, which was like 3 days after Mercury stationed retrograde, after as of that date, they're doing back end work, and it's not possible to to customize your URL. So we did it. Kind of. So now Mercury needs to clear his shadow, and now YouTube needs to get their ish together. Hopefully they're using this time to fix whatever the reason is, so that I can actually customize the URL, which is like the next level of what I need to do back end wise on YouTube to really expand the Drunk Astrology outreach. So we've already talked about that, and just a cosmic reminder here. We're in a month of pivots. Okay, so let's not forget that yesterday on Saturday, Pluto stationed direct since April 29th being retrograde. So last week and this week through Thursday, we are still just ruminating in that Pluto station. He stopped, and he's slowly going to start moving forward. But on Thursday, we clear that. His station energy dissipates, and we really start moving forward. So the unsolved mysteries really start pushing forward and coming, secrets from the dark and tales from the crypt. Remember that show on Nickelodeon? What was that? Nick at Night? Oh, I used to love Tales from the Crypt. So, you don't be surprised if things, and especially with the Aries full moon too, especially with eclipses, South Node's in Scorpio. We're looking at Pluto already. So, just expect there's could be some that energy of things moving behind the scenes, but you don't know it. You might feel it, but you know it. Don't be surprised if those things start coming up. Let's see here. Now we have a Chiron story going since last weekend, right? I believe we already talked about it. October 7th, October 9th, and then tomorrow, October 10th. So turning points from an emotional standpoint, from a wounded trauma triggers, the people in your life or stories of your life that really bring up powerful emotions and potent stories. This full moon with Chiron really signifies major turning points. And there's a great message with this full moon. I don't want to, everyone that's got the full moon report, you're going to hear it. But I really give a nice, there's so many things that came up while I was going that the channel was open during that full moon horoscope. So there's some things like I don't want to speak on it here because I was in such flow, and it was all powerful. It just felt on point, and it just feels like already I've had a friend right when I hit the send button, 5 minutes later, she was like, just listen to my report for Cancer, and holy Lord, this is exactly where I'm at. This is exactly what I've been feeling. And now, thank you, I know what to do moving forward. And if you find yourself this is the last little thing, and then I'm going to get to the breakdown. If you find yourself really looking for guidance and needing guidance and just not knowing where to turn or what to do, I now have reading subscriptions. I don't want you to forget that. I already have clients that are getting weeklies and that are getting monthlies. I do have 2 dailies available at this point. So you got daily, weekly, or monthly options, and it's all astrology plus card readings. So I'm going to look at your chart. I'm going to lay cards for you, and I send you videos depending on which option you choose, daily, weekly, monthly, to really give you the energy and really the guidance and like the way through something and action steps, and maybe even bringing light things that you don't know are happening but just need to know. The combination of astrology and the cards is very, very powerful, and the testimonials I'm getting, like each time I send a reading out, the response is just wild and crazy. In such a beautiful way. And it makes me excited because this is what I do for myself. This is what I do for my partners, what I do for my friends. When I'm giving readings at events, I use the cards and I use astrology. So it's just like I want to bring it to everyone that's not necessarily local. And, you still get guidance. And it's from me and from you. And I think we all feel a nice little connection. I know I do. So anyway, especially because we're in eclipses now, this is typically when my readings go through the roof, which is great, but also, it's like getting people back on track, because eclipses can make you feel, they can just be overwhelming. So, oh, look at that. The full moon just perfected 1:55 p.m. Wow, and the podcast is being recorded. Bam. Hello. Happy full moon officially now. Which is, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get to the moons and let's break this down. So, Monday, October 10th, the moon is in Aries still. It goes void at 7:02 a.m. Remember, the times I give you in this podcast are Pacific Daylight Time. And if you want to write this down just so you don't forget when the void phases are and what energy the moon is holding, make sure you grab your pens and pencils, your paper, your planner, and get to writing. So 10:10, great day numerology-wise, especially for leadership, and it's an Aries moon. Talk about the leader of the zodiac. Wow. Moon goes void 7:02 a.m. with a square to Pluto. So the full moon has like an energy of overcoming change, not resisting transformation on a cellular level, right? There's a call there to it could be illuminating where things do need to change. But there's like action necessary. And I mean, it's just so screaming powerful that action is necessary, because Aries is the energy of Mars, which is the god of war, strategy, action, energy, drive, motivation. So with the square to Pluto, you got to, find your motivation to change for the better. Then at 2:04 p.m. on Monday, the moon enters Taurus, a place that she absolutely loves to be in. She is exalted, enjoying herself, good food, good company, good wine, good drink, good grounded, just lovey-dovey energy. We love a Taurus moon. On Tuesday the 11th, there are just two aspects, but the moon is still in Taurus. And then Wednesday the 12th, the Taurus moon goes void at 2:42 p.m. with a trine to Pluto. So that is juicy and collaborative. The moon is very happy camper. Let's see, Monday afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday through 2:42 p.m. Then the moon is void from 2:42 all the way till 10:08 p.m. when it enters Gemini. The moon is in Gemini the rest of Wednesday night. Thursday, making two nice aspects, which is great. And then on Friday, it is a busy cookie, but making all juicy aspects. But it does go void at 9:11 p.m. Friday, October 14th, with a conjunction to Mars, who is in his pre-retrograde shadow. He's slowing down. So talk about, this is like discussing, creating dialogue, what might our strategy be moving forward, but creating dialogue, having conversations, getting with your friends, your neighbors, your roommates, and deciding like what do we think the next steps are as of right now. Just keep that phrase in your back pocket, because when we're talking about all this Mars retrograde energy, you need ... as of right now. Then on Saturday, October 15th, the moon enters Cancer, yet another lovely place for her. It's the sign it's her domicile position. It's the sign that she rules. But at 9:11 a.m., Saturday the 15th, the moon enters Cancer. She has an overdoing with Jupiter at 11:44 in the morning. And then Sunday, she's got, Sunday, she's got two squares. She's got an adjusting to Saturn, a little moving forward with Uranus. Okay, and we'll talk about that. Then Monday, the Cancer moon goes void at 1:56 p.m. with an opposition to Pluto. So it's separative. It's also energy of putting something out, releasing, letting go of something. So you can look at your Cancer Capricorn houses and say, okay, what needs to be put out here? Now, as far as the planets go, this week is just really busy. And I'm going to say really Monday through Friday. There's a little bit of a come down energy on Saturday, Sunday, but kind of not really. And remember, we have the eclipse energy blanketed over every single week until the end of November. Okay, so even if a week looks quiet, that's almost like, oh, okay, eclipse events are almost guaranteed. But this week is busy, especially Monday through Friday. So planet-wise, Monday, Venus has her opposition to Chiron, so she's exposing a turning point with, within relationships, within money dynamics, and the things that you desire, and maybe your belief systems around what you deserve and what you don't. Mercury changes signs. He leaves Virgo and he enters Libra at 4:51 p.m. So now Mercury in Libra, he's joining the Sun there. He's joining Venus there. We got a lot of air now, okay? We've got we have got 4 of the 5 personal planets all in air. So that's a lot of talking, that's a lot of communicating, that's a lot of theorizing, idealizing, very intellectual, but we are lacking Earth. We only have Uranus in Taurus, who's shaking things up anyway. We have Pluto in Capricorn, who is clean, he's just edging out of his retrograde station or his direct station. So we don't have a lot of Earth up there. We do have Jupiter in fire, so that's the passion, that's the move, that's the go, go, go. But you might need to just take some time. You might be discussing a lot of ideas now, but you need to really get down to brass tacks and tap into some of that Earth energy. How much of this is something I really want to do, right? Is this realistic? Am I over promising and under delivering if I say yes to this or move with this? So you just want to just keep that in mind, that we're all in idea mode, and we're in creative mode, and we're talking a lot, and we're discussing a lot, and we're collaborating a lot. But you just want to pull back and go, okay, is this aligned with my passion? Is this aligned with my purpose? Do I realistically have the energy for this? Monday is also Thanksgiving for our Canadian friends, so happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian listeners. I definitely know that a lot of you listen up there, so just, I hope you have a great holiday, and I hope you enjoy yourselves. On Tuesday, the Sun has an adjustment to Uranus, so that can be an unexpected, just like, oops, wait a minute, didn't expect that to happen, so now let me go fix this really quick. It also the Sun has a trine to Saturn at 6:07 p.m., so that is collaborative. It's building blocks energy, right? Sun's in Libra, creating aesthetic. Saturn's in Aquarius, sharing it with the world, and they're working together collaboratively to, really build a foundation out of that. Also on Tuesday, you see why it's a busy week, Mars has a square to Neptune at 10:46 p.m. So that's like cutting to the chase, right? Neptune's fuzzy and foggy and going, oh, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. Mars in Gemini is like, no. It's a chatty Mars, and it's like, no. It's a little hot-headed, right? So, mind your tongue, but also, get down to what's fact, right? There's where that Mars and Gemini can be a really answering to Mercury and Libra now, who can also be a little hot-winded, hot-tongued. So you just kind of want to go, no, let's just say this is truth and this is not. Okay, let's get to the facts. Wednesday the 12th, Mercury has his 3rd opposition to Jupiter. So that's just after midnight. So kind of Tuesday, Wednesday has the energy of conversations that began, or thoughts and ideas that came on September 2nd for the first time. September 18th was the second hit. And now October 12th being the 3rd and final hit. So this is wrapping up Mercury's retrograde story. So anything about, that's pushing you towards expansion, towards growth, out of your comfort zone, this is now wrapping up. You're getting the last little, there might be a little cleanup. You might have to redo something, revisit a conversation, return things. I know my partner, he's an interior designer, has a client that, actually 2 clients that bought things for their respective homes, and they're not working out. So now they're having to repurchase things. So it's like that kind of energy, and Jupiter is a lot of. So, you're moving towards the right direction, but you might just have to do a little bit of cleanup, because that's what post-retrograde shadows are there for. Clean it up. Then on Thursday the 13th, Venus has an adjustment to aspect, just like the Sun did. The Sun and Venus are traveling really close together. They're going to have their Venus star point next week on the 22nd, shifting Venus's energy. So, from a evening star to a morning star, or no, morning star to an evening star. Don't quote me. I'll have all that together next week, but they are coming up on their conjunction. So what the Sun does, Venus is going to do right after until they meet up. So she adjusts on Thursday while the Sun adjusts on Tuesday. Then Venus has her trine to Saturn late that night at 11:21 p.m. That is also the day that Pluto's station, kind of the energy of that station dissipates. So you can kind of be like, okay, I'm free and clear on the Pluto front, and then next week we're going to run into Saturn's station energy going, at the same time of eclipses. Do you see and are you hearing why I said the end of this year is going to be wild? Okay, listen to all these aspects. This is a lot, and I'm not even done. Okay, so that's Thursday. Friday is, we're going to talk about that. Saturday, we're going to talk about that. And Sunday, the Sun has adjustments to Neptune, as does, no, the Moon's not doing that. The Sun has an adjustment to Neptune. So again, it's like, it's figuring out which, Sun's in Libra, just trying to strike a balance, trying to create balance in an imbalanced sky right now. And Neptune's kind of fogging it up. So this is more like, okay, let's weigh our options with pros and cons. It could be this, it could be that. And, just trying to cut through the fog. Anything that doesn't make sense, go, what's the fact? Now, the last thing that I want to mention about this week is that the nodes are direct all week except for Monday. Okay, so that means Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The nodes are direct and giving you ample opportunity to get your message out there, to shake your hands, to deliver a pitch, deliver a proposal. You're moving towards growth, right? So whatever you've been working on, this is the time to say, you know what? It's a little unfinished or it's a little rough around the edges. I mean, you have Tuesday through Sunday. You have a lot of time. But, take into account that on the weekend, some people check out. Some people don't answer their phones. They don't answer their emails. They don't even look until the following week. So you can really take advantage of the nodes being direct for this long by maybe using Monday to kind of collect your thoughts, collect your ideas, figure out the last little structuring that you need to do in order to use the energy of each day to your advantage. Because we know that sweet connections take place, sweet happenings, just chef's kiss, mwah, 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 type of energy when the nodes are direct. Okay? So that's it. That is the podcast for this week. You've got reading subscriptions available to you. You have, if you're on the news train, you have the Aries Full Moon report. You have access to all the latest horoscopes that I've already put out. So go back and look at those. And you're prepared, okay? You are ready for whatever eclipses may or may not bring. And I'm here with you, okay? Just because I'm your astrologer doesn't mean I'm exempt, okay? So you know that I'm going to share with you anything that may take place with me. Just like those conversations last week that were kind of big aha moments for me and the two friends that I was talking to. I'm going to keep sharing my story along with you. So here we go. All right. I'll see you on social media. Bye. This is Graham Breitenstein, and you've been listening to This Week with Drunk Astrology. If you want to follow Drunk Astrology, head to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and hit that follow button. And if you want to learn how to put astrology in motion for you, head to drunkastro.com and get on the insider list. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google platforms. Tune in next week for yet another opportunity to work in sync with the stars. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.